As soon as I open it, roaches. To where when I walk in the house,
did you scream?
You don't know my life, bro.
Welcome back to Econix Talks, guys.
When I pop up, everybody gonna be like, man, overnight success.
Lifestyle topics, entrepreneurship, and investing.
Are you serious about this? Because if you are, then I'm willing to back the business.
We want to inform you, educate you, and empower you so that you can maximize your life. Let's get started. Welcome back to another episode of Econix Talks, guys. Today we have Zae Stevens. His full name is Isaiah, but we ain't gonna go there. So I just want to kind of welcome you to the podcast. And he's a videographer. He's local. He's in Tampa, and we definitely want to get into his story. He's a full-time student and a full-time entrepreneur as well. So I want to highlight his grind and his come up, man. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So my first question is, tell me a little bit about your background, how you became, interested in videography and just storytelling. What kind of started you off on that path?
Yeah. So I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. Grew up there. I was born in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Okay.
Moved to Baltimore when I was like 3 years old. Went to an all-boys Jesuit high school.
Jesuit? We have a Jesuit here.
The Jesuits, compared to any of, let's say, Catholics or anything like that, have definitely done a number on me because they have been more known in history to be the bookkeepers, the knowledge keepers, right?
Uh-huh.
So I had a great time at high school, but what really started me on this photography and creative telling journey was I had a class. It was a digital media class, and in the class we were tasked. It was junior year, and in the class we were tasked with creating videos, flyers, photos, things like that, based on whatever guidelines or requirements that he gave us. And I was enjoying it, but at the same time, I was just a kid. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just going to class, right? And I guess the reason that I mentioned all boys is because where I went to school was predominantly white. Mm-hmm. So that being said, we had a lot of racism in my school, and not too many people of color. Being biracial myself, that was always something hard to navigate. But I guess my point in that saying is that there was an incident where on a bathroom stall, it said, "No ends better come to school tomorrow."
What?
No, yeah. Yep.
Curse.
Yep. That happened. And I was like, okay. And at that point, me and my friends were really just trying to find a way to cope, but then also speak up and use our voice. And that's kind of when the photos and the videos and the creation and Photoshop and all that just fell together. So it was I realized I could use that as my voice, and I was good at it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. So I ended up making a little mural, and it was, I could pull up the picture, I could find it. It's a black power fist in the shape of Africa.
Okay.
With the roots going down like this. Yeah. And now they have it in a main area of the hallway in my high school. It's been there the past 3 years.
That's what's up. That's legacy. That's dope.
That's awesome.
That's a rock with that. That's dope. So let me ask you this. Because I'm really big on storytelling. I really enjoy stories. I love anime. I like anime better than regular TV.
Yeah.
Not that anyway. But I like anime because of the stories.
Yeah.
Because of how they aren't redundant. They're very unpredictable. They really do a great job of characterizing characters and just really diving deep into people's stories. So can you tell me what types of stories you like telling? How does that process go for you?
Yeah. So for me, I like to focus on, if I can, working with predominantly people of color, just because, like I said, kind of growing up in the environment I did, I always want to kind of pay tribute and make sure that I'm furthering my own people. But at the end of the day, I don't. My goal for anybody that I work with is to tell their story in the most authentic and creative way possible. Right. So that being said, I have my own little, style that I always have in my videos and my photos that you'll always be able to tell, okay, this is Zae Dizzy.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I think my job.
Wait, say it again.
This is Zae Dizzy.
That's what you call DJ on the track, London on the track, Mike Will made it. Forget what you call it. A tag.
I got
What's your
Zae
tag?
Dizzy, and then my hashtags are Stay Dizzy, like Stay Dizzy, my man is, and I personally am the dizziest.
Okay. Hey, I'm gonna rip that audio.
Yes.
I would say dizzy.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, talk that shit, man. Okay, so when you're telling stories, one of the things that I've learned, or in the process of learning, is how to break down storytelling. So can you explain? 'Cause you actually go to school for this too. So there's some professional aspects that a lot of people don't know that goes into the art of storytelling. So can you kind of explain to the listeners what that process looks like? Because before you do, the importance of being able to tell a story is, for all you content creators, people who want to create social media, you got to tell stories. Whether it's art, whether it's digital art, real art, whatever you call it, at the end of the day, you got to tell stories. All right, go ahead.
At the end of the day, it's funny because, like you said, I go to school for this. If I can do like literally step by step, it would be, of course, I think to a certain extent, it has to do with raw talent and raw just creative ability and thinking in your head. Because at least for me, before any shoot or any client that I work with, I already have, based on what I've seen them do or based on other inspiration that I've seen, I already have kind of an idea of what I want to create or the story that I want to tell using my subject. But after that original kind of any thoughts that I'll put down on a piece of paper, I'll give it treatment. So I'll have mood boards and my ideas displayed in mostly photos and visual examples of what my client expects to see, in addition to a couple words just to kind of piece the story together. Right. So get that to them, and then once we get on the set, finish any other flatlining details, but we got the main story together. Let's say I want, for this specific video, I want the sound to match up really well. Or I want this specific part to be really well. I might make sure that I harp on that one thing and get it done first. So I make sure at the end product, I have that key element in the story. Because at the end of the day, there are certain things in the story, such as setting the scene or an intro shot or certain transitions within your movie or a good ending.
I want you to speak to that, because I think that's the part to me is the details that people don't get. So like how you shoot an angle. So for example, this angle is straight on, this angle is from the side, but there are shots that you can take that evoke certain emotions. So what are some of those types of shots? What are your favorite shots to shoot and why?
To add on to what you're saying about the certain shots and certain things in video that you can use to convey emotion, such as frames per second, such as composition, such as lighting. For me, I love 120 frames per second, and all my creators will understand. Or some of my creators would be like, yeah, they'll rock for me. And some of my creators would be like, all right, nah, you gotta use 24 frames. For me, I just love the buttery smoothness, but I will say I have learned that there's a time and place for everything.
Yeah.
Right? So when it comes to things like this, I'll say 24 frames, 30 frames a second. But if I want to get water falling from the sky or water or any super slow, creamy motion, then 120 frames per second. So I guess to really answer your question, I love 120 frames per second. I love I love painting with lights in a sense. So that means, let's say, I love any scenes where I love working with artists. So let's say I'm working with an artist and I have a scene where I got strobe lights and it's super, I'll say jarring and it's funny. I will say a general rule in this video space is the less information, the better. So when you or somebody, a viewer's watching it, the more you hide from them and the more you make them guess and infer, the more interesting the video is. So the more shadows and contrast, especially in those, like I said, those light shots or those strobe light shots where, like I said, you kind of withhold a lot of information. It really draws you in.
So when you're looking at those frames per second, have you ever found yourself falling in love too much with a certain shoot style? And it's like, oh, I gotta change it up. I can't fall in love because it's like, I love the way that look is, but it just kind of like gets redundant.
Absolutely.
So what are some of your favorite presets?
Yeah, so I'm like, so kind of what you're saying. There's always a time and a place for everything, and that being said, like I said, I love 120 frames, but it's funny because I gave a video to a client and I passed it by one of my friends first, and he was like, and I shot it in 120 frames. He was like, it looks like a soap opera.
Really?
Because at the end of the day, that's what it does, because there are so many frames that you see all the little micro adjustments in your face and everything. It doesn't look like you actually are there.
Right.
So I had to learn, I guess, as anybody who's on any journey, you learn through trial and mistake. So after that mistake, I learned, all right, everything doesn't need to be 120. And then at the end of the day, I feel like I'm very aware of myself and what I'm doing. So that also made me take a look at other things that I was doing and be like, okay, do I use this often? Do I use this too much? Do I use this too little? Yeah. And at this point, I think I know a decent amount, but of course, there's a lot more to learn.
Yeah, right. It's always, you gotta always be learning. That's one thing about creativity. One, technology is always changing. So you gotta look at what new software, because there's new software that might do what you do quicker.
Absolutely.
And it might be worth it to learn that new software and implement it because it might save you time. So what are some of your favorite tools? When I say tools, like your programs, your laptops, what are your recommended tools?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I've been in the game, or I'll say the photography, like seriously been pursuing this shit probably for like 2 years.
Okay.
But that being said, I mean, like, I'm still at the point where I'm just now really getting paid for my work. So I'm about to get the new M1 Max.
Okay.
Then $5,000 on the laptops. Just spend another $3 on a camera. Right. So I guess my point in saying that is right now I'm on the same laptop I was using, the same 2018 MacBook Air that I was using.
Man,
in 2020.
People don't get how. I tell people all the time, man. One of the best investments I ever made was my laptop. That thing, bro, like you could work from anywhere. You could pull it out. You got a camera here, but you got a phone, you got a laptop, you good. Mm-hmm. And so what are some of your favorite softwares?
Yeah, so I use the Creative Cloud Suite. So with Adobe, so that's what Premiere, Lightroom, and Photoshop are my main. Illustrator goes in there sometimes if I want to make like a logo or something like that. And then I do need to get into After Effects though. After Effects is super complicated, especially if you want to do a lot of the very popular stuff. But at the same time, kind of like what you said, it's so popular, and I have my own ideas for it that it might be worth it in the long run.
Right. It'll see different elements like that. They may not fit every key component of every video you shoot, but knowing how to leverage even a portion of Illustrator or even a portion of After Effects will change literally everything about your videos and just about creating in general. That's one of the things that I like about the creative space is being able to take a vision and you literally see that vision. You watch it in your head. You're replaying it, and then you get a video and you're able to remake that and put it out for everybody to see. It's like the coolest thing ever. What have been some of your most favorite projects that you've worked on? Like, what's your favorite type of project to shoot?
Yeah, so I love shooting concerts. That's my passion.
I see you. Yeah, a lot of your stuff definitely concerts.
Nightlife and concerts, really concerts. I have a wall in my room that I have plaques, my plaques on, which are the specific artists that I've shot. But at the end of the day, it's not just artists who are pop. It is not just artists. I got Trombone Shorty, Mavis Staples, Nas, Waka Flocka. So I got a multitude of different artists from different genres, and to me, they all speak to their own talent and what they bring to the table for their respective genres. And kind of to answer your question. So far, Gatsby Music Festival is awesome. Okay. So I've worked with them for the past 2 years. I'm on the media team there. And so we had Nas in 2021. 2021 was Nas. Mm-hmm. And a bunch of other people.
Did you get a chance to meet him?
No, unfortunately.
That would have been fire.
It would have been super dope.
Dang. Meet Nas would have been dope.
See,
I ain't gonna even cap. That would have been
At the same time, though, my mind was already blown because when you get to shoot those shows, you're in a pit. So you got the main crowd, and then you got this little area for photographers, and you got the stage. So it's just my mind was already blown because that was the first time.
So tell me about that. What were you thinking? Like, what's going on through your head? You see Nas on stage. Like, what's going on?
I'm like, okay, so I guess this story is at the end of the day pays a testament to God, pays a testament to just keep going, like perseverance and closed mouth don't get fed. So
Facts.
I was in class on a Thursday. I had no clue what Gaspar Music Festival was. Nas performed on Saturday.
Yeah.
So just for y'all to understand, I had no clue what the music festival was on Thursday, and Nas was performing 2 days later, and I shot it. Right? Okay. So boom. Thursday, I have a couple friends around town, and one of my friends, shout out Chandler Collada. He, amazing dude, awesome. I appreciate you, Chandler. He posted him shooting. I was like, "Where are you at?" He said, "I'm right at Curtis Hickson." I'm like, "What's that Curtis Hickson?"
Right.
He said, "Gasparilla." I was like, well, "No way." Looked up the set list, and sure enough, Nas is on there. I was like, "Chandler, how do I get on there?"
Right.
He was like, "I honestly don't know, but here's a few numbers." He had happened to connect me with a woman named Yvonne Gougelet. Shout out Yvonne.
Shout out Yvonne.
Love you. You're awesome. I appreciate you too. She's a festival photographer.
Okay.
And I worked with her, and she had a blog connect to Gasparilla Music Festival.
Okay.
She said, "Are you free Saturday?" I said, "Yes, I am." She said, "Here's your media pass for Saturday."
Wow. Man, tell you, man, people, if you just push, I think people create these narratives, and I do it too. You know, I do it too with certain things. But access is a lot easier if you just turn over one rock. If you just ask, man, sometimes all it takes is literally asking the damn question to somebody that's right next to you. All you did was reach out to your homie and was like, "Bro, how do I get plugged in?" He was like, "Look, I can't really help you, but here are a couple of numbers of people you can call. They might be able to get you in." And sure enough, all that took was a little bit of persistence.
Okay.
Just a little bit of persistence. So people out there, like, be persistent. Like, that's what that means. Like, going the extra mile, ask. All he did, what I equate that to is like sales.
Mm-hmm.
All you did was ask for a sale, and the sale you asked for was a plug. Because you didn't ask for any money, you asked for an opportunity to get your stuff out there. So now that you get there, like, what's going through your head?
Yes. No, okay. I will answer that question, but just to kind of finish up what we were talking about, like right before that. In addition to being consistent, I think it's most imperative that you're also a genuine and good person in that consistency. Because I feel like a lot of people are consistent and try very hard, but they don't do it in a genuine, like, good, meaning way. For me, because at the end of the day, if the past year and a half, I made it very obvious, or I had dinner with Chandler. I sat down with Chandler. I talked to him. I met him. I know who he is. I wanted to get to know him.
You built a relationship with Chandler.
Mm-hmm. If I were to just go out and every single time that I see him shoot, I'm like, "Where you at? Let me get a plug."
Right. Nobody's going to rock with you.
I just want to put that. I just want to make sure that's a point.
Yeah,
like
a big point for me. Make sure to build that relationship.
Good business matters.
Yeah, and when people out there, like, when you do business, if you are a bad person, you are going to attract bad people, and it's going to be hard for you to find clientele. Because at the end of the day, people want to know one thing: are you reliable? Are you going to do what you say you're going to do? Yes. And in business, if you can do that and deliver a great product, you good. You good. That's all you need, man.
But to get back on track to answer your question, so I get to the music festival. At this point, I'm just hyped to be there. So I was there all day too. Right. I had a Saturday pass, so I was like, "F it, I'm gonna take advantage." Run around, met a bunch of people, handed out my business cards, bunch of shots. But come Nas, I changed my SD cards, brand new SD card with 164 gigs. I was like, there is no way I'm running out of footage. Yeah. Changed my battery 100%. Got everything on. I'm running the pit and I'm waiting for him. And in my head, I'm obviously psyched. So like, I take a couple videos of my phone because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm very surreal.
I'm here.
Not even here. And I know for a fact, not even 2 years ago, I never thought I'd be in a position like this. Right. Paid or not, just being there.
And it's because you put energy out into the world and it came back to you. Okay. You know, I'm a big proponent of that kind of stuff, man. One of my favorite books is called The Alchemist. I'm not sure if you ever read it.
Sir, I have.
Well, and like, it's finding your personal legend. Absolutely. You know, when you chase that personal legend, man, the universe conspires in your favor. Yes. You know, even when you got to take detours, even when things don't go your way, even when and when you got to go test and you got to pray out to God and ask him, like, God, give me strength. Still, you on that journey to find your personal legend. So I applaud you, man. I want to definitely see where you are in about 5 or 6 years and just what that brand will look like. That's gonna be fire.
Yeah, definitely watch
That's
out.
gonna be fire, man. So tell me, what are some of your upcoming projects? What are you working on? I also want to know how people can get in contact with you, the whole nine.
Yeah. All right. So coming up, I'm locked in with my man Lou the Barber. He's been cutting my hair since I was 16 years old.
Okay.
It's crazy how paths reconnect, right? Cut my hair, go off to school, and now he's always been a barber, but he's really doing his thing. I'm doing my thing, so I fly back to Baltimore every month or so.
Okay.
Get
Okay.
some content. Shout out Lou.
I saw that on your page.
Yes, sir.
That's
sir.
dope.
That's my boy.
That's dope.
Working with Pusha Preem.
Okay.
Got some stuff in the works. I don't know. I don't want to say too many details, but definitely have some stuff in the works with Pusha Preem. He's a local Tampa artist.
Okay.
Hit the Billboard 2 times.
Okay.
I mean, so man, awesome dude. Shout out Pusha, man. He's one of the most genuine people I've ever met. Yeah.
Solid, dude. Solid. That's what's up, man. So, and as far as the projects, man, how do you manage, who you take on client-wise?
Yeah. So,
Like, how do you determine, like, okay, I want to work with this person?
Yeah. So starting out, it was really just about just getting content for me. Just starting out, I was just like, all right, you want to shoot? Let's do it. I don't care. It's $20, $40. It's just for free. Let's just do it. I want to get it done so I can build my content. Then I was having fun, all that. At this point, it is a little bit more about the money, I will say. For most people, you got to come with a budget. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, if you have enough value inherently to offer,
Right.
The money can be put aside.
Right.
I'm in this for the love. I'm in this for the craft. I love making art.
Right.
The money is just a side thing because at the end of the day, I need money to make good art.
No, and talk about that, man. Pay me.
Okay, so
Pay
it's funny
me. This is your job.
Photographers and y'all need listen up. Photographers and videographers are super underutilized and underappreciated.
Yeah.
We are gods in all of your industries. And this is what I mean by that. Like, at the end of the day, back way when social media it wasn't a thing, and the internet wasn't a thing. Word of mouth is great, and even now, word of mouth is awesome. It's still how I get a lot of my business, and that's how you get credibility. Mm-hmm. Keep your reputation. But at the same time, when it comes to making sales, marketing, and general social media, internet presence, we make your brand. If it's if we don't do a good job, you don't make sales, you don't make money.
Yeah.
It's that simple. So when I work with certain businesses, or when businesses try to come to me and they don't want to pay me, or they don't want to, at the end of the day, value me in the way that I want to be valued, it's their fault. They can whatever y'all will see.
Yeah.
Go work with y'all can. I love to say that too. It's like, well, I have another videographer do the exact same thing for less. I guarantee you it's not the exact same thing, but if you want to go do that, you can.
Right, because you get what you pay for. And you learn that in this game, man. You really do get what you pay for. Not saying that it's that if you don't have a budget for certain things and you can't afford certain things. I get that part. But if you have the budget and you just want to be cheap, that's what you're going to get.
It's that simple.
Because if you have that budget, then your brand probably reflects that you have that budget. Mm-hmm. So if you don't want to, if you undervalue your own brand and your own marketing, like people have to look at like your videos, your website, your pictures. That's like the front-facing part of your company. When people see that, they judge you based off the quality of what you present in your presentation. And if your quality is trash, then you're gonna lose business. Period. It's a very simple concept. So for those out there, like he's not lying. Videographers, photographers. And it's one, I tell you what, y'all expensive. Photography is one thing, but videography, bro, because I got into that, not to sell it as a service or anything, but just to do my own stuff. And there definitely have been some learning curves. That was probably one of the biggest learning curves for me. Because I'm not a super videographer. I don't even consider myself one. I just know how to throw a camera up, put it up, make it look good. Boom. That's it. And honestly, the technology really does most of the work.
Yeah.
On the back end, though, on the editing side, you got to break down frames, and you got to like people. How do you line up when the music drops to when this happens? Well, you got to go into the video and actually set it up and line it up that way. You got to cut that frame at that exact moment to get what you want. And people don't get that. That's the time-consuming part. Editing. It's not shooting. Shooting is easy.
Yes.
Editing, it takes hours depending on the type of footage, how long it is, how much footage did you get. You got to go through it and pull out all the good parts. People have no idea like the process that it takes to create some really fire shit.
And let's say I can get it done. Let's say that used to take me, because this is the truth, that I'll have projects now. And this is how I kind of judge myself. I'll have projects now that took me 7 to 8 hours in the past. I'll knock it out in 3-4 hours now. You definitely get faster. At this point, though, you're paying me for my expertise. You're paying me for the years that I had to spend, 10,000 hours that I had to sit in my chair and learn that so I could do it in 3 hours. That's what people don't get. It takes you 3 hours now to edit something like that. But the reason it takes 3 hours is because of all the work that you put in. Because if somebody else had to go do it, it's going to take them 6 months. LeBron James makes going like this real easy. Yeah, it looks real easy, but please try it. No. I want to transition to what I call the Econix 10. So it's just 10 questions. And let's see. You ready? All right, cool. Question number 1. What would you title this chapter in your life? My sewing. My sewing. I go year by year at this point, chapter by chapter. That's not true though. Because at the same time, I have different. I have my umbrella, like life in general. That I have I'm in my 20s chapter, and then under that chapter I go, I'm in college. Then under that it goes year by year. I get. But I will say this year I've officially dubbed this year my sewing year. I like that. A friend of mine, Bayate. Fraternity brother. Shout out Bayate. Shout out Tay. He's a goat. He posted a quote one day and said, you can't harvest in the same season that you sow. Repeat that. You cannot harvest in the same season that you sow. And that's the truth, right? So I have a big whiteboard on my wall, and that's in big letters. You cannot. So this year, at the end of the day, I've seen where I can go. I've seen my potential. I've seen the network. I've seen the product that I put out. Mm-hmm. This year, if I really buckle down, you'd be surprised how much your life can change. I just posted this video. Put your head down. Yes. If you actually commit to your goal, like where could you really be? If you really committed to it, what's on the other side of that? Question number 2, what superpower would you have? Don't let me down. Oh, man. Superpower? Yeah. Oh, superpower. Probably, to be able to influence other people, like, directly. Like, if I look at you, I can be like, okay, you need to love people. That's a dangerous superpower. Because I can't, then especially in our world, I'm tired of all the hate. Yeah. So if I could look at people and be like, you're going to be a good person today. Yeah. And that's because I said so. Yeah, I feel that. That's a powerful superpower. That's Professor X. What would you invest in right now if money was not an issue? Crypto. We're going to talk about that. Are you serious? That was easy. All right, if you weren't doing this, what would your other profession be? If money and reality didn't matter, I'd be a philosophy and religion teacher, professor somewhere, just spewing stuff about God and the universe and why things are important. But because money matters, I'll say still making films in some ways. Yeah. In any way, I feel that. Number 5 dinner guests, dead or alive. Who's sitting at your table? Oh, man. Dead or alive? Who's coming? MLK. Okay. Yes. Barack. Facts. I'm trying to pick really carefully right now. It's your table. Quentin Tarantino. Solid. That'll be actually interesting. For me. Mavis Staples. And Lil Baby.
Lil Baby. All right, Lil Baby. Number 6, celebrity crush.
Celebrity crush? Oh, man. I have a celebrity crush? To be honest, I really don't have one. And you want me to be honest? I don't have a celebrity crush because, and maybe this is just a non-celebrity speaking, but I feel like all celebrities are stuck up. Like, I can't do that. I don't like fame. Like, I don't.
I can't really speak to it. I haven't met a lot of celebrities.
I know people who, like, I feel like crush. I don't think. Let's say Rihanna.
All right, Rihanna.
I like Rihanna.
All right, we go Rihanna. Number 7, something that the average person would not know about you.
This is a birthmark.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And apparently it's called a Darwin's tubercle, and apparently it means I'm lucky and or blessed.
I'll rock with that. That's definitely different. Number 8, what's your favorite productivity hack?
Get up in the morning.
Simple but powerful. Simple but powerful.
Get
your ass up.
Get up, and even though like it might be hard, and I sleep in. I slept in today till 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. Not gonna lie. But in general, getting up in the morning, you feel like you got like half your day back.
Yes. You gotta get up a little earlier. Number 9, name 3 most influential people in your life.
My father, my brothers. I'm gonna put that as one, and my day ones. I'll put that as one.
Okay, I rock with that. PB&J or grilled cheese?
Take a grilled cheese.
Wow. Okay. Well, that concludes the Econix 10. I do have 2 additional questions for you, though. I'm curious. What keeps you up at night?
My drive to succeed and my fear of failure.
Okay. And what has been one of your biggest failures in business?
I would say not starting earlier, but at the end of the day, that's not really a failure.
Yeah. Man, he's like Dizzy. He don't make mistakes.
To me, it's not. I don't have any regrets. So I guess a mistake in general is having too much good faith in people.
Yeah.
And having too much good not
giving people
yeah.
Yep, I feel you right there.
Yep.
So that concludes the Econix 10. The last thing I want you to do is 1, tell people your name.
Yes, sir.
Tell people where they can find you and how to contact you in case they want to work with you.
Yes, sir. My name is Isaiah Stevens. Again, Zae Dizzy for short. You can find me on Instagram at Zae Dizzy, ZaeDizzy. My website is www.zaedizzy.com. Not gonna give you all my phone number, but y'all can DM me and we can work.
There we go. And guys, that concludes our episode for today. Y'all go check Zae out, man. Support this man. He is on the come up. Appreciate you coming out, my guy. Yeah, bro. I appreciate you, dog. And that concludes our episode. Y'all go like, share, subscribe, and we are out. Peace.